it's a transformation. It's not a single event. It's not because you give birth and suddenly you know everything there is to know about motherhood. You have some kind of instantaneous adjustment. So matrescence really captures the idea that becoming a mother is a developmental stage.
Yeah.
So it's not an event, it's a whole developmental stage that goes from pregnancy, postpartum, and beyond. So we've got studies that show that the brain goes through incredible changes. There are reductions in gray matter, there are areas of specialization for women as well. And so the term matrescence, if you think about the adolescence developmental stage, there are some similarities there, which is why I think it makes it such a powerful way to describe motherhood.
Yeah.
Because I think it helps women and others to give women a little bit more grace with that adjustment.
Yeah.
And it's a physiological, social, cultural identity adjustment that comes with a lot of intensity, the new role of looking after babies.
And it's definitely a real surgery. It's look at all the layers we have to go through. The skin, obviously, yes. The fascia, we cut that. The muscles, you have to separate those to two sides. And then the peritoneum, yes, you cut that too. And yes, there's more. Lower uterine segment, we have to divide that. Then there's the peritoneum, we have to cut through that. Once we're inside, there's blunt dissection. We have to bluntly move things around, which means the bladder, yes, there's the blunt instrument, metal instrument that pushes it down so we don't damage it. Then we have to cut through the uterus and the baby's there. And then we have to birth the baby through the small incision we made. So yes, we push the baby out for you. Lots of pressure all the way up into your chest to push the baby out, one shoulder at a time. And once the baby's out, huge congratulations, but there's a lot more to do. Placenta has to come out, and then we have to close the uterus. This is a lot of layers. You have to make sure there's no bleeding, that the uterus tone is good. And then you put the uterus back inside of the abdomen, and you have to close each layer one at a time.
Supposed to have a baby and bounce back. You're not supposed to have a baby and go back to who you were before. You're not supposed to have a baby and just be exactly the same person but with a baby on your hip, smiling, happy. That's not how it's supposed to be.
What is a woman supposed to be? What are the normal changes that she should celebrate as that happens to her?
The brain changes in pregnancy and the first 2 years after birth more than any other time in a human's life. The part of your brain which is responsible for empathy and compassion gets bigger. The baby brain thing.
Okay, baby, thank you. Can you get that? Can you take? Come, no, come, don't bite that. Don't bite it. Okay, thank you. Thank you. No. No, Aria. Aria. You okay?
Decades after a woman has carried a baby, we can find DNA of a baby inside her bones, inside her organs. So in a sense, the body is really becoming the mother cub, so that we don't even have to be in the same space to know and feel what's happening. Wow. And I don't know if you saw, like my friends are making a film about intuition. And so the scientists talk about intuition as like, intuition comes when, say, you're an athlete and you've kicked a soccer ball like 1,000,000 times, you've done your 10,000 hours, therefore you get more and more intuitive senses of how to navigate that goal and make that happen. It's an intuitive feeling that's been built up through experience.
Yes.
But then they don't really include this type of intuition that really is in the cells of our body through these radical changes in our brain and nervous system, that we can feel what might be happening for our child on the other side of the world.
I'm so fascinated by and how it's all connected. And
You used to look pregnant months or even years after you had a baby. There are several reasons, but I'm just going to go over 3. Obviously, it could be excess weight. The weight distribution looks more pregnant-like than before you had a baby. That is because of number 2. Your deepest core muscle is your transverse abdominis and wraps around you and cinches you in like a waist trainer. If you haven't worked on that muscle since pregnancy, then it can look still pretty stretched out. The third thing I want to mention is stretched out connective tissue. When your baby stretched your midsection, not only did your muscles become stretched and looser, your connective tissues that connect the muscles together are also stretched out and looser. Diastasis recti is separation of the midline tissue, and what it is a stretching of the connective tissue that connects the muscles together. Keep in mind that all of the connective tissue of the midline are all
explore with them their past, what they're bringing into motherhood. Sometimes adverse experiences in childhood can get re-triggered when you become a mother, even if you've done quite a bit of therapy, because it's very different being at peace with your past as an adult, but becoming a mother, that role, and then loving this baby so much can have past experiences come out of the woodwork. We call those ghosts in the nursery. So we take care of the past, what's brought them here, what can impact their motherhood experience. I talk about conception, how they
about with my kids, and this woman comes up to me and she's like, are all these 5 kids yours? And I was like, yes. What are you gonna tell me? My hands are full. She begins to tell me about her life and that she has worked with postpartum mamas for like 4 decades, and I was like, wow, that's amazing. And I also felt she wants to tell me something. She continues to ask how I'm feeling and how I'm healing after my 5th baby, and I was like, wow, thank you for asking. I'm feeling really good. I'm starting to feel like myself. She chuckled at me and I was like, why are you chuckling? She goes on to tell me that in her 40 years of experience working with postpartum mamas, that it takes about 7 years for your body to heal after having your first baby. And then she said any kids you have after that first kid, add 2 to 3 years to that 7-year number per child. I'm not too shabby at math, so I know it's upwards of 20 years for my body to heal from having 5 children, which basically means by the time my body is healed, I'm about 6 months away